Like even when I said with Joffy, you know, they be Top Tiger, B. But he was that before. Any blood circuit, any of that. Like he was already, they had already appointed him that. Because they just viewed him that way.
Oh, so when circulated,
they started hearing names like who's really going crazy in Queens. So they came in the building, they came and got me, and I brought mines along. Banks came, Banks, J.O., who else was there?
When you're the leader of your actual crew and you actually leading them in a different, it can get uncomfortable when someone else comes around and they view him as the lead. Like, you the big homie, and then I come and they go, oh, the big homie.
You already know the G-Unit story. 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Young Buck taking over the game like a storm. But there's one name that never gets the spotlight. And trust, he ain't no small fish. We're talking about one of the most feared, most untouchable names in 50's inner circle, Joffy Top Tiger.
Yeah, everybody's here, but yo, Joffy, tell you, chill out. Because he already made you the guy, I'm going to tell you. I said, chill out. Instead of talking to them directly, because I know that they're already listening.
If you're a real G-Unit head, then you know 50 kept some heavy steppers by his side when the block was hot. But out of all the muscle he had, Japy's name hit different. Word in the streets, he wasn't just another homie in the crew, he was the one 50 called when things got serious. Some even claim Japy was the 50's main shooter, the man who took care of the darkest, most dangerous business behind closed doors. And now, years later, 50 himself is finally speaking on it, dropping hints about why Japy Top Tiger still carries that same weight, still moves like a ghost with power.
Charles is my 18. This Banks people's right here. He came up with take on the road, you know what I'm saying?
Japy wasn't just riding with G-Unit, nah, his street rep went way deeper. This man had real gang ties, a savage past, and street credentials so strong, even 50 had to keep one eye open. And yo, if you thought 50 was the hardest dude in the clique, just wait till you hear why he never tried to test Japy's limits. Today, we're diving headfirst into the dark legend of Joffy Top Tiger, his hidden role in G-Unit, the street whispers about what he really did behind the scenes, and why the man who took 9 bullets still keeps Japy's name with a touch of respect, and maybe even a little fear. Let's get into it.
8 and 24 hours, I'm 8. I went to jail last night. I guess I went to jail last night, and I turned 8 that fast. You is impeccable with this computer. This that nigga doing with this computer nowadays is hilarious. Her job just got locked up. He ate too. Shout out to the apes though. I the apes. Know my body though.
Joffy Top Tiger, real name, Jesse Brown. But don't get it twisted, this ain't no ordinary street cat. Folks in the game say he's deeply plugged in, and not just with G-Unit. Word on the block, he holds serious weight in one of the most feared sets moving, the Mac Baller Brims. This crew ain't just loud, they're lethal. The Mac Ballers are a dominant Bronx gang with serious pull in the streets tied deep into the world of guns, trap, and raw power. Law enforcement ain't shy about it. One source even called them top dogs in the city. More soldiers, more rank, more firepower than any other Brim set in the game.
Well, like I told you, me and Banks, we school time, August Small, like I knew him for years. I knew Banks a long time. I mean, that's my man, that's my brother for real. Like, all of is my bro, they all family, like. But with me and Banks, we had a close relationship.
Organized, ruthless, and known to get violent, real fast. Other gangs, they stay looking over their shoulder when Mac Ballers come through. This ain't just some local hood drama. They're a key player in the entire National Bloods network. They hold a big piece of New York's underworld, and they own Rikers Island's back channels, the contraband, the influence, even the fate of inmates. All of it runs through the Mac Baller family. Their HQ deep in the Morrisania section of the Bronx. But their grip stretches far. Brooklyn, Staten Island, upstate New York, even Jersey. This ain't just a gang, it's an underground empire.
Getting even into the unit, you know what I mean? Like, you knew Fifth beforehand? Or?
Yeah, I knew Banks and them. Banks, okay. Al, Aleem and all them, because we all went to school. We all went to school together.
Okay.
Like, I used to come with the August Martin terror. Like, so, they was always, that was never with it. Like, Al and them, they was never like, I used to be going crazy. Like, we used to be for LB Fam at that time. Like, we beef with the world.
LB
like,
Fam was everything.
We was some, like, where we from, like, we went against everything on that side. When it came to Baisley, Rochdale, they was all against us.
Because y'all was together.
Yeah, and we was just like us. It wasn't too many of us. It was a lot of them. They used to team up. She used to be crazy back then until we start. After a while, I think we might have been the first ones playing with them.
You know we ain't gonna speak on that, but
Can't, thank you.
But we started going crazy.
Yeah.
Once we start going crazy, that's when the names start going crazy. Oh no, Westside America, what's her
So it
name?
was the beat up era still, like.
Nah, it was
But that's
still
how-
hands.
but
It was still
everybody
hands
said
and
we
feet.
Knew that we was. So they came and got me. Word.
Oh, so when
Yeah.
circulated,
They started hearing names like who's really going crazy in Queens. So like they came in the building, they came and got me, and I brought mines along. Banks came. Banks, J.O. Who else was there? It was a bunch of them.
So how did they speak? Like, yo, we gonna start something.
The gang's roots trace back to Bronx native Larry O. Caldone, a street vet with a mile-long record who's now looking at life behind bars for some wild accusations. His right hand, a lower-ranking boss nicknamed The Godfather, Kyle Leadon, the one who turned it all into a slick, vicious machine. Running with him, Eli Blood Rios, doing life too, another name feared in silence, locked up for a whole different body. These dudes weren't just gang members, they ran their operation like a full-blown mafia. Japy and his crew had the streets and the prison system on lock. Every move, violence, loyalty test, strategy. They called the shots like real bosses. Cops and feds, they don't even argue it. They straight up label them the undisputed kings of the gang world in NYC, with more heads than any other Brim crew out there.
It was a barbecue I had when I came home from jail. If you probably know when and all that shit happened. They saying June at barbecue and all that pistol packing. You don't remember that happened?
Somebody
Yeah, no, his neck.
he got paralyzed.
Basically, that was my barbecue. I came home from jail, they threw me barbecue. It was crazy
Why you got sued for it?
because it was my barbecue. It was my,
They got paralyzed, sued you?
sued me and my mother.
No, stop.
So my mother got to pay for something that my friends caused. Like that's hurtful and nobody helped me.
Right.
We got friends out here this day that don't post shit. How many friends you know never post nothing you did that you
lot.
grow with?
A lot.
Thank you. I got the same. I got a friend with that right now. Don't do. I'm taking with me. Hell no. You gonna stay right there when I go. You don't show the same love I show.
This set was no joke. Their discipline, strict. Their tactics, savage. Their reach, massive. Other gangs didn't just respect them, they straight feared them. Public records say they got around 525 members, but word from inside, that number's way higher. They move silent but deep. At some point, the Mac Ballers split from the bigger New York Brims Alliance and built their own system, tight and organized. Two main divisions hold it down, the money unit, stacking bread, laundering funds and handling deals, and the enforcement unit, taking care of anyone who stepped out of line. Yeah, it's that real.
Do some things, but it went wrong because it's probably me and him being who we are, but you probably got people in your crew that feel a certain way. I might have people in my crew that feel a certain way, and that's how that shit be clashing with the two, because you know we both two bosses, so you know how this shit might go. He might have people that be like, yo man, fuck them niggas, fuck, and I might have niggas like, man, fuck them, you know what I'm saying? Situations happen, people choose sides. I felt I'm sticking with the side that I've been with. I've been around Fifth of them. Smurf ain't bring me aboard. I done bought me aboard. Weezy done bought me aboard, but he still was family. Me, I done slept in Smurf mama's crib. I done gave that nigga money. We done share shit. He done gave me guns. Like you know what I'm saying? He was family, nigga. Once I'm locked in, we locked in. But shit just went sideways.
Now let's bring it back to Joffy Top Tiger. He's been riding with the Mac Ballers for years, but at one point the streets started buzzing with talk that Japy had jumped ship to join the Gorilla Stone Bloods, aka the Apes, another cutthroat crew with crazy influence all over the country. But Japy, he shut that noise down quick. No switching sides, no confusion. He made it clear where he stood. So how did a guy like Japy link up with 50 Cent? It all traces back to Lloyd Banks. They had history, school days type bond. Banks pulled up to the towers with some of his own people trying to connect Japy with the G Unit wave and see if he was down to ride with the movement. From the moment Japy stepped onto the scene with G Unit, the vibe shifted. This wasn't just another recruit. This was a dude with serious presence. People could feel it. He didn't talk much, but when he did, everyone listened. Even 50 picked up on it. Japy wasn't there to chase fame or flex on the gram. He moved in silence like a ghost, but his reputation screamed louder than any track 50 ever dropped. Behind the scenes, whispers started circulating. Japy wasn't just around for protection, he was handling things nobody else could. Situations that needed a firm hand, Japy was already on it. Street beefs, security issues, internal drama, he dealt with all that off the radar. The type of loyalty and grit he brought to the table, that's why 50 kept him close, real close. Some say when 50 got into certain high-stakes situations, it was Japy who made sure things didn't go left. No cameras, no spotlight, just cold strategy. He was the one who made people think twice before coming for G-Unit. And while fans focused on the music, the chains, and the beefs, Japy was the shadow keeping the whole empire stable. And get this, there was one rumored incident where a rival crew tried to press 50 at a private event. Before it even escalated, Japy had already positioned himself between the threat and 50. No words, just a stare. And just like that, problem vanished. That's the kind of energy he brought, not hype, not clout, just raw presence that made the room freeze. But for all the loyalty Japy gave, he stayed off the radar like a pro. No flashy interviews, no name drops, no tell-all stories.
He cut me in my sleep and shit. Yeah, that ain't about nothing.
Damn.
You know? You don't see no scar on my face, right? He ain't do a good job. I got cut though. Not on my face. That's where they really try to cut me up. They try to cut my face and my neck up. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I made it out that motherfucker though. I made it out that motherfucker. Yeah, you know how it go. This is gangster shit, man. This is shit we signed up for. Yeah, but ain't no honor in that. I don't respect how they did it. They got me cut in my sleep. That's them for me getting one of their homies cut in the yard. Cause one of the niggas that took a hit on me wound up in the same jail. Yeah, so I seen him in jail. I got him touched, you know? But I did my shit with honor. I got him touched on his feet, you heard? Them niggas ran up in my sleep.
While other dudes chased the spotlight, Japy stayed low-key, building his legend in the shadows. That's what made him different. He didn't need the fame. His name alone was enough to shake people up. Even within G-Unit, not everybody was cool with how close 50 kept him. Some felt threatened, others didn't understand why 50 trusted a guy who barely spoke and never played the industry game. But that was the thing. Japy wasn't there for music, he was there for order, for control. And 50, he knew exactly what kind of storm Japy could unleash if pushed. At one point, there were whispers that Japy got involved in shutting down certain music industry snakes who tried to play dirty with G-Unit's business. Nothing confirmed, but the stories were loud. And every time someone tried to dig into it, doors got closed, people got quiet. That's when you know it's real. He was the type to walk through a crowded room and have the loudest dudes go silent. No yelling, no threats, just that heavy energy. Like, you knew this wasn't a man to test. And somehow, 50 always seemed more relaxed when Japy was around. Protected, like he could focus on being the mogul while Japy handled the streets.
Part 2 of Joffy Top Tiger, the most dangerous man in hip-hop.
Believe this, but like, even when I said with Joffy, you know, they be Top Tiger, but he was that before. Any blood circuit, any of that. Like he was already, they had already appointed him that. Because they just viewed him that way. Right. And it was in the same age group. I didn't understand it, but I was like, nah, that's just how it is. And I left it, I didn't just leave it like that.
Japy eventually linked up with 50 Cent, and boom, just like that, he, Bang M Smurf, and the rest were rolling tight under the G-Unit banner. At the time, Japy was living in the notorious American Towers, a spot known for real street heat. That's where 50's crew pulled up. Lloyd Banks, Wheezy, and a few more G-Unit heads came through to bring Japy into the circle. According to Japy, they came to him. He didn't chase the fame. They saw the value, they made the first move, and gave him that golden ticket into the unit. But don't get it twisted. Japy wasn't just some background character. He was right there in the mix, moving with 50, touring across cities, recording tracks, and living that real G-Unit lifestyle. But like many street legends, the ride didn't stay smooth for long. In the early 2000s, things took a sharp turn. Japy got caught up in a situation and ended up doing a year in Rikers Island for attempted assault. When he came home, he tried to celebrate with a simple barbecue, just wanted to vibe, eat, and breathe some freedom. But that celebration spiraled into straight chaos. That BBQ turned into a war zone. Multiple people got injured, and tragically, an 18-year-old kid caught a bullet to the neck, leaving him paralyzed. Later on, he passed away from complications.
Remember I told you, my block starts from 134 and ends at 137. So two niggas shooting at me from 137 side. So I backed up by the phone booth, because there's a phone booth right here in our hood, in front of the store. So I backed up by the phone booth, like, yo, who the fuck these niggas shooting at? Because remember, I told you, there's other people on the block too. So everybody's scattering. But I still want to know who these niggas shooting at, and they shooting 9s. And if you're in the firing range, you know a 9 ain't gonna make it past no 50 yards, no 30 yards. Like, we in the firing range. I'm like, what? You ain't gonna hit nobody down here shooting from that far.
The whole thing was heartbreaking and wild at the same time. And even though 50 Cent wasn't anywhere near the party, guess what? His name still got dragged into the madness. Why? Because Japy and Lloyd Banks were there. That was enough for lawyers to come swinging. G-Unit Enterprises, G-Unit Records Inc., and G-Unit Touring all got slapped with a heavy lawsuit filed by the young man before he passed. And if that wasn't enough heat already, Japy started beefing with Bang M Smurf, one of the very people he came into the unit with. Loyalty started cracking, and behind the scenes, things were getting messy. Japy felt like Bang M Smurf wasn't staying loyal to 50, and in his eyes, Smurf chose the wrong side. That tension, it almost got deadly. Smurf ended up behind bars not long after, caught in the fallout from that loyalty split. But riding for 50 came with a heavy price. Japy nearly lost his life. He got hit 5 times, and rumors still swirled that the man behind the hit was none other than Jimmy Henchman. Yeah, that Jimmy. The same dude tied to some of the most dangerous beefs in hip-hop history. That kind of smoke, only real ones survive it. Through all the highs and lows, one thing stayed solid. Japy's loyalty to 50 Cent never wavered, not once. Even after doing time, dodging bullets, and surviving Wild Street politics, Japy stayed 10 toes down. That bond with 50, it's unbreakable. You still see them together to this day, on stage, in the studio, or just cooling in the cut. That brotherhood runs deep. Japy's story shows what real loyalty looks like in the world of hip-hop and the streets. His name might not be on every headline, but make no mistake, his legacy is locked in with the rise of G-Unit. The quiet soldier, the shadow behind the spotlight, the one who never folded. But now it's your turn. What do you think about Japy's ride or die loyalty to 50? Everything he went through, was it worth it? Would you have stood tall the same way? Drop a comment below, let us know what's on your mind, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. We got more heat on the way. See you in the next one.